What's up, everybody? Who is it?
Digital Swag Daddy.
That's right, baby. It's that time. Well, welcome to another episode of You Already Know What It Is. Um, a lot of the work that I do on YouTube, the projects that I create, a lot of it doesn't really make it on YouTube. I usually just pick the things that I really like. But today I want to go back and show you some of the work that I've done in the past. So let's go. All right, guys, my Photoshop portfolio is quite extensive, so I've decided to make this a three-part series. This is going to be part one, so let's begin. Now, what this is a bookmarker that I've decided to create. My coworkers and I decided to have a chili cook-off, so I thought it'd be kind of neat to print these up in Photoshop, laminate them, and make some bookmarks. So this is the front and back of the bookmark. This is the first place. This is first, second, and third. And we also had honorable mention, which a coworker named Marcia got honorable mention, and she wasn't too pleased. This is Thug Life right here, written all over her face. If you notice, she's holding the bookmarker upside down to show her discontent with honorable mention. It looks like she bit the head off a chicken and she's chewing the bone. But anyway, this is a church slide that I worked on. I was creating slides for my church, Church of the Harvest International, and it was a wonderful opportunity for me to gain quite a bit of experience doing this. So this was a lot of fun. This particular slide was inspired by Evan Eckerd. He has his own YouTube channel, and he did a tutorial, and I thought it would be good to duplicate that tutorial on this particular slide. I think this is like the modern warfare loading image slide or something like that he had referred to. This is another church slide, Amazing Grace. I instituted the mirror effect, which I thought was kind of nice, kind of glossy looking. This particular typography I found on Pinterest. It was just black and white, and I brought it over into Photoshop, and I use a pen tool. What the pen tool does, it allows you to follow curves around angles, so you can take that shape or object out, and then you can add drop shadows, layer styles, and what have you to kind of enhance it. And that's what I did to this one, and I really like it. It's one of my favorite pieces to this day. This is something that I created. I saw, but I decided to add my own touch and own font to it. So the best apology is changed behavior, which is true. A person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected. That's real talk. And there's my little chocolate dribble logo up in the corner. This is a calligraphy type letter that I found again in Pinterest. It was just a plain black and white. Actually, I think this was in pencil. So I decided to duplicate it in Photoshop and add my little touch to it. This one is God's Gangsters. I found a tutorial online showing how to make DVD covers, and I added my own spin to it. These are my band of brothers that I made into a movie poster. And if you look at my digital swag day in a life vlog home gym edition, you get to see it actually hanging up in my gym. So I'm really proud of this one. And actually, I had this printed off and took some old DVD covers and took the covers out and put this in and gave it to each one of these guys, and they really enjoyed it. So this is also one of my favorites. I got quite a few, you'll find. This one I found on, was it Pinterest? This artist, I forget his name, but he takes lyrics from various hip-hop artists and he adds text and images and brings it to life. And I decided to kind of duplicate it and add my own spin to it. So this is what I came up with way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. You know what I'm saying? B.I.G. baby, R.I.P. Bobby Ellis is a good friend. He has his own lawn care service. This is when I was just starting off. I was kind of green to the Photoshop game, but I was kind of feeling myself. So you can kind of see a little bit of that in here. So he gave me the colors and the type of style that he wanted, and I came up with this, and he loved it. We ended up printing off business cards, postcards, and I even made him a lawn sign for his business. So that was very pleasing. This is a thumbnail for a Black Lives Matter Heart Healthy Check series that I made. I had a lot of fun with this. I actually have a video on how to duplicate the cartoon characters there as well. This is the back of a DVD cover, my very first DVD cover that I've made. Actually, CD cover, mixtape cover. This is the front. His name is Savon the Messenger. Had a lot of fun. If I had to redo it, I think I did this like 3, maybe 4 years ago. There are quite a lot of things that I would do differently, but I still enjoy looking at it because it reminds me of where I started. So, of course, you know what it is. That's the Chocolate Dribble Studios logo, baby, baby. Yeah, you know, you could tell I'm an 80s baby. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the 70s, but, you know, influenced heavily by the 80s and 90s music because today's music sucks. Don't get me started, please. This is another church slide that I did called Chaos at Christmas. When I first got started, I think I'll show you the actual slide. I don't know if it's going to be in this series or the next one, but I did a logo for a friend who started his own business, and the money that he paid me with, I decided to put it back into my business and invested it in some stock photos. I forget where I bought this from, but what they did was you pay a 1-month price, and then they would allow you to download 25 images per day. And believe you me, I downloaded 25 images for those 30 days, and I'm stocked up. I mean, so this was one of those images, and what I did was I added the snow. The image was actually the snowman and the actual white sign. I added the text and added the snow. So that was a Chaos at Christmas. Just brought Christ. Highlighted that out of the Christmas part. So I'm really pleased with that one. I'm sure we've all seen this one floating around on Instagram or Facebook. I just decided to enhance it because most of the images that I see are very extremely pixelated. So I decided to see if I could recreate it. I'm off to Club Bed featuring DJ Pillow and MC Blanket. That's me all the way. This particular one I made very simple, just added some color behind it. The congrats, I was actually able to take that typography and take it out of the background and put it on my own. So that was very simple. I have a video out on that if you're interested. This particular one, I'm very pleased with it. I made my own magazine background. This particular picture was taken indoors, and I was able to extract the subjects out of the background, add my own background, and do some touch-ups, some highlights, and some saturations, and all the other complicated stuff. But it turned out very well. I'm very pleased with it. And as you can see, that was done in 2014, or if that may be a made-up date. But either way, I'm liking it. There's my Donald Duck. When your mama told you to shut up and you mumbled something under your breath, plow, got your beak slapped off. But this was fun to make. I really enjoy the characters that I grew up with, cartoon characters. So any chance that I see something funny, I try and duplicate it. Star Wars. I found this one on Pinterest as well and decided to recreate it. The only thing different that I did on mine than the one that I saw was I added the fist with the peace sign, because those pics were very popular back in my day. They came in black. They came in red, yellow, and green. It was if I find one today, I would definitely buy it, even though I don't have any hair to pick. This is Deadpool. This one was fun because the artist that originally did it, that I duplicated it from, his name is Paris Cristal, or Christou. He has his own YouTube channel. He does a lot of posters and whatnot, and he did one of Deadpool, and I want to see if I could recreate it on my Wacom tablet. And this is, the line work is kind of iffy, but the coloring and the highlights is okay. So it's an area that I have a strong interest in, but I'm still weak fundamentally in. So I'm still trying to hone my skills in that area, but I really like it. So this one is sentimental on a number of levels because the old YouTube logo, which this is, reminded me of back in the day before there were remotes. If you're old enough to remember the days when you had the TV, you had to get up, push the button to turn it on, and then you had the different knobs to turn the channel and the inner knob to tune it. So, and then the other one was the volume knob. So this one I really like. So Define You, YouTube. So that's kind of a little poster that I made. This was a simple Prayers House discipleship image that I made for a friend. I really like it. It's very powerful. The imagery is just, it speaks to it. It speaks volumes. So I really like that one a lot. This one I made for my good friend Eric. He has his own music group, Dozier Music Group. So he is actually the one who, whether he knows it or not, kind of got me involved in the Photoshop. I was up in his office at church, and he had this slide open because he used to do the slides for the church, and I was fascinated by it. He took the time to explain what everything was, and that was what sparked the fire that made me the digital swag man that I am today. So thank you, Pastor Eric, in Jesus' name. This next one is It's Your Man in the back of a Bentley. A lot of my learning that I've picked up the techniques and tricks on YouTube from this particular gentleman that I learned this kind of style from. His name is Noiseworks. He has a website called freelancesociety.net, and I subscribed to it for a year and learned quite a bit. I mean, it's priceless. If you're a digital artist that has a strong interest in photo manipulation and want to get into mixtape covers, he is a must. I mean, I scoured the net to try and find people to learn from, and he is one of the best. I'm not being sponsored or paid to say that, but I loved his style, and I try to duplicate it as much as I can in my work, so because it looks great. So if I do say so myself. What's next? This is going to be the thumbnail that I use for this series. This is just kind of a compilation of some of my favorite ones that I've made over the months and years, so I really like that one a lot. This one is inspired by Denzel Washington. I think this day and age, so many of us are caught up into ourselves and forgetting our roles, and I think it's causing quite a disturbance within relationships globally. So I think if we could just adhere to this simple truth, that the home life would be much better for a lot of us. So this is my Facebook banner. I forget the YouTuber who originally gave a tutorial on how to do this, but it was fascinating. I loved it, and I really like it. This is one of my favorite photos because, what kid doesn't want to be an astronaut? And I got to finally be an astronaut because my head is always in space and in the clouds anyway, so I might as well have an image to depict that. So we're going to wrap it up right there. This is part one of a 3-part series. So I hope you definitely enjoyed it. So make sure you tune in for the next parts of my Photoshop portfolio. Thank you. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you again for just watching the shows that I create and the content that I produce. It really means a lot. If you liked it, hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. It helps my channel grow. And stay tuned for more hot content. Later.